Greg Cummings, CEO of Power 100. We're super excited to follow Steve Spence around today at the Certainteed event in MetLife Stadium. Doesn't get any cooler than this. We have a bunch of info to show you. We're super pumped. And as always, power up. All right, we are here at the Certainteed event at MetLife Stadium with Steve Spence, Managing Director of Project Map It. Steve, what's going on, brother?
Not much. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for you guys to be here.
Yeah, we're super excited. Thanks for letting us kind of follow you around today. You're speaking not once, but twice here to a pretty good crowd. There's probably 5 or 6 breakout rooms, so roughly what? How many people are supposed to be
There are about 315 contractors here today that registered.
All right, very cool. And why are you involved with the Certainteed Stadium Tour? What made you want to get involved with that?
Yeah, we've been an affinity marketing partner of Certainteed for 5.5 years now. This is their second season tour of the business building workshops. They call them BBWs. Last year we traveled to 10 different NFL stadiums, 9 and then 1 baseball stadium. This is season 2. Certainteed has it on lockdown. They have really honed in and made this an amazing event. In fact, last event, I started asking a lot of contractors, like, what'd you think about it? Honestly, what's your true opinion on it? And they were like, this is the best thing we've done in a long time. I mean, who doesn't like going to an NFL stadium and like we get to travel to NFL stadiums and get tours and meet contractors that are literally in our wheelhouse because we're partnered. We have an exclusivity partnership with Certainteed, which is pretty cool.
So in your first speech today, what are you hoping that the audience gets out of your speech?
Number one thing, we're not here to necessarily sell Project Map It, although a lot of people do end up purchasing and subscribing to our services once they hear our presentation. But the goal is for a contract, I always tell them, I want you to at least get 1 or 2 golden nuggets, an aha moment that you didn't think about in the sales or marketing efforts of your company when you leave. And if you do that, that's all I care about. So the first half of my presentation is really talking about educational pieces that I've learned throughout my 7-year career doing this and working with contractors and digital marketing agencies. And then the second half is me kind of showing how Project Map It kind of can help with all of those problems or pain points that contractors have.
Well, look, we've seen you speak several times. We are excited. You always deliver a great product to the audience, and we're excited to be here today. This time, get it on camera and show everybody a little bit more about what Project Map and yourself have to offer. So thanks for taking time. We'll follow you around today, brother.
My name is Steve Spence. I am one of the owners. I was a high school special education teacher for 20 years before I left for this job. Circumstances in my life made me realize like I need a second career and I want to challenge myself. So the guy that owned Project Map It, he still owns a very successful roofing company. He hired me. He was one of my lacrosse players. I think up there it says somewhere I'm a lacrosse guy. I live in Maryland. Most of you on the East know what lacrosse is. If I was out in Colorado, maybe not as much. But he hired me as the first ever employee back in 2018. And in 30 days, I left a $90,000 job with good, you probably all know teachers make good benefits, have good benefits, health insurance, stuff like that. 30 days into Project Map It, the owner of that company said, Steve, you're on your own. It's not making the millions of dollars I thought it was gonna do in 30 days. You got this. So I literally left a 20-year career of teaching, and now I'm all of a sudden in the contracting industry trying to learn my way. Here we are today. Fast forward 6.5, 7 years later, we're with Certainteed, SRS, ABCs. Company came a lot of big companies now. So just kind of proud of where we've come. The goal in this presentation is to hopefully get, like when you leave, my hope is not necessarily you purchasing or subscribing to my company, Project Map It. Okay? My goal is that you learn a couple good golden nuggets that were like, oh, that's actually a really good idea. This presentation is leveraging social proof, your online presence, and what you can do before, during, and after the sales process when you're trying to prospect a new customer. What you can do to get ahead of the game and to get that homeowner to say, oh, WG Construction is the one I want to pick because everybody else is using WG Construction. Like everybody's competing against 1 to 3 other companies. And your job is to show that homeowner, that prospect, that you're the best company for the job. So how do you get this following the herd mentality where if everybody's using Metro, I need to use Metro? Maybe Metro is $3,000 or $5,000 more than what this company's estimating or proposing. But you know what? Metro is showing me that they are badass, and I want to follow the crowd. I would like everybody to stand up, please. I'm short, so I'm gonna have to stand on it looks like I'm gonna have to stand on a chair. All right. So being a teacher for 20 years, the average human being can last about 20 minutes of hearing new information, and then they start forgetting everything that someone said. So I just spit crap at you, not crap, amazing information at you for 20 minutes. So as a teacher, I would never say guns and roses, because guns, so everybody make a water pistol. Do you remember this? Because I did this with, everybody make a rose. I'm not doing it until everybody does it. I'll wait. Awkward silence, see it works. Awkward silence is good. Okay, now all I want you to do is very simple, just switch your gun and your rose, your water pistol and your rose. Go ahead and switch. Are you looking at your time like, when is this damn thing gonna be over? So I love it because a lot of you, this is what a lot of you look like. You're like looking at your hands and you're just trying to force it to move. And a lot of you start doing this, and then you, like within seconds, you're just like, F it, I don't care about this anymore. And then you're done. Anybody do a good job on it? You're doing well. All right, kudos to you. All right, have a seat. So the second you all stood up, 10% of the oxygen just went to your brain. Your brain just woke up a little bit and got a little bit stronger. When you do this, your brain is split into two hemispheres, right? And what you're doing is you're literally working your brain out from your right and left hemisphere. So it's like a glass of water. When I fill up water, eventually what happens to that water? It gets displaced, it flows over. So all that information is water. And if I don't get you up and moving like that, you're gonna forget all the stuff I just said. I just talked to somebody and he told me, he said, you were a teacher for 20 years. I was at Gillette Stadium last year. I'm like, oh, you remember that? Right? It's because of the brain break, I guarantee you. Did you guys learn something today? Do you feel like you left knowing at least one other thing that maybe makes you think about different ways to run your company? That's all I cared about. Just want to say thank you. Really appreciate it. Have an awesome day, everybody.
I have Tyrone with Dream Home Roofing. They're out of New Jersey. Tyrone, thanks for taking the time with me, brother.
Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So what did you think of Steve's talk here?
I think it was great. I took a lot of things, more so than anything. Obviously this is Project Map It. We actually are integrated with Project Map It on our website. I have a salesman role, project manager role. Have I necessarily used it in my sales? Not necessarily, but I did learn a lot of things today that I'm going to be taking forward with me so that, we can have a little bit more leverage when it comes to our sales with our clients and just to better serve our community as well, too.
Yeah, that's awesome because, Project Map It does do a lot. And so one of the big things is showing the customers that visual representation of, on your website, like who you've helped in the area, that you're not just some small company, that you just started, right?
Right, of course.
So what you're saying is you guys have been traditionally using Project Map It with just on the website.
Yes.
Now that you've been able to see Steve's presentation and how he integrates into the sales process, do you think that it'll help you close more jobs, give buyers some more confidence?
Yeah, absolutely. Because actually I've gotten, certain homeowners that they ask me, hey, how many jobs have you done in this area,
Right.
And because I wasn't aware of the tools that you can use with Project Map It, now that's something that I'm going to be using in the future. Whenever that question does come up, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. You can look at our Project Map It map. Here's all the jobs that we've done within this area, and hopefully that'll bring our closing rates higher as well, too.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'd say, hey, the trip was worth it for you guys alone in that. Tyrone, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
I have Alex here with Pro Exteriors, right?
Exteriors, correct.
Awesome. Well, you just saw Steve's speech
Yes.
on Project Map It.
Yes.
And I saw you over there. You actually just signed up. You weren't a client. Now you're looking, not signed up, sorry, you signed up for a demo.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, learn more about it. I think it's a great tool overall. One of the things I like about it is that it had a lot of let's build everything into one in mind, and I think that's really great, right? So it's gonna allow us to hopefully position the company better to close more sales, get more awareness, get more leads potentially, right? With the fact that you're able to have an all-in-one kind of review system. So I'm definitely looking forward to learning more about it, more in depth. But yeah, great presentation by Steve overall.
Awesome. Steve has some good energy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He comes as an educator, so to be an educator, a good one, right? You have to have that kind of that spark, right? So I think definitely Steve is a good representative of that.
So what else are you hoping to get out of the show here from Certainteed?
I think
NFL thing?
overall, just this and more, right? If I could add or double up what I just experienced on my first session, I think we'll be in good business. I think I'll be able to take it back, use it. Maybe not necessarily sign up with everyone today, right? But at least have something that I could take back from every single experience that I have here with all of the speakers.
Yeah, you got to step out to get better, right?
100%.
Well, Alex, thanks again for taking the time, brother.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
you.
much.
Okay, Steve, you just did a great job in there. The audience is kind of cleared out. They went down for lunch. How do you think it went?
I think it went well. That was one of the more engaging groups of people that we've talked to. That a lot of good answers, a lot of good feedback. I always learn a little bit from each one too. So a couple people said some things I haven't heard in the past, which I really liked. One gentleman was talking about the idea that he sometimes take the videos of his current projects that he's working on. He'll be in the same neighborhood and go to somebody else and say, hey, here's some current projects I'm working on, and literally show that prospect the video of it, which I thought was pretty cool. So you always learn a little bit and take a little bit something from each one.
That's awesome. I mean, your platform provides so much value.
Yeah.
I heard one or two people describe it as like an all-in-one type product.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate just a little bit more on that? Because on the surface, yes, you have a great interactive map that allows you to help sell. It allows you to attract customers. It allows you, a customer, to really feel comfortable that you as the contractor have worked in that neighborhood before, right? But can you talk a little bit more about the all-in-one as a life cycle?
Yeah, I think all-in-one for our tool encompasses the things that prospects are all looking for, right? Like prospects want it, whether they know it or not, right? I'm a homeowner. If I'm a sales rep, if I'm a homeowner and you're a sales rep and you come in and you provide me photos of your work, areas that you've done work in by showing pins on a map, so that local reputation and reviews, then that's great. But not everybody does that, right? Like as a homeowner, I don't necessarily know to ask that. So in our tool, it's just there. So as a sales rep, you can go in and show those three components that homeowners know that they're looking for, but maybe don't realize it. So you have an all-in-one solution that shows reviews. That's very important to land jobs, right? I said it in my presentation.
And helps you get reviews at the end of it.
Well, that's so all-in-one. Yeah, so all-in-one in that you're right. We try to be really good at photos. We try to be really good at pinning pins on a map, and we try to be really good at collecting and displaying reviews. So we've grown, right? You even said it a year ago. We've changed a lot from just a year ago, right? A year ago, we didn't have a tap card option where you can request that review as soon as the job is over. We now have that. So not only can you display reviews now in our portfolio, but our platform allows you to easily collect reviews through our email system or our tap card system. So we are becoming that all-in-one solution in sales because homeowners want to see those three things: local reputation, pins on a map; reviews from your happy customers, done. I can even collect them now with Project Map's platform. Show me photos of a Moray black roof compared to a coastal blue roof. Easy. Click a button, I can show it to you. So it's all there. Very easy for the sales rep.
With proof of concept.
100%.
You're not just showing on a designing tool, you're showing on an actual house that you actually did. So that's going to make a happier customer. Less guesswork, right?
Yeah, we're using our past successes to easily sell new successes.
Look, I love what you're doing. We've recognized you last year as a top 15 strategic partner because of all these things that you're doing. You really do move the needle for these small to mid-sized companies in a huge way. And then for the large companies, you're able to show, physically show people how big they actually are.
40,000 pins on a map. We have customers with 40,000, 10,000, 20,000. That's a big deal, right? Like, hey, by the way, we've done 40,000. By the way, we've done about 2,000 jobs just in your area within a 5-mile radius.
Maybe you should change the name to Trophy Case because everything is a trophy.
Maybe I should change the name. Let's do away with Project Map It. Let's figure something else out.
Look, I think you guys are doing something amazing. I can't wait to continue to follow you for 2025 as well.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And then we're going to catch up with you. I know you have a busy afternoon here after lunch, and then we'll catch up with you again.
Awesome.
Before we head out, but we're enjoying it today.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
What did you think of Steve's energy and Steve's speech?
Steve's energy was great. He's, very, very lively. Very relatable. He's not, robotic in any way that he talked, and I appreciate that. So I felt like I could, connect to him in the way he spoke, and actually pick up something from it, and maybe deal with my customers that way a little bit more too. Just be joyful and cheery. People feed off your energy, so it's important, when you act a certain way, people feed off of that for sure.
No doubt. James, for you, where did you see? You guys were taking notes. I saw you had the calculator out at some point here. Where do you see Project Mapit potentially fitting in with your business?
I think it'll help us scale to larger markets and be able to stand out from the competition. The features that we offer, the Mapit, just staying one step ahead of everybody else. That's what I think the advantage of Project Mapit. We're very interested in it.
And Tyler, what about your perspective? They mentioned a lot about selling, a lot about being in the home, being able to communicate to the homeowners in a little bit different way, like proof of concept type things, right? You guys are a little bit newer of a company. A couple years in business, getting your traction, and now you're kind of shooting for the moon, right? So you actually have customers, not like in the beginning, right? That you can actually refer to and say, I have these guys. Exactly. What does that mean for you to be able to put their address or name and jobs and photos on something to sort of say, look at all the jobs that we're doing and the growth?
The first thing I can think of is a lot of people are very secretive. A lot of people are very private. So for them to give you, even allow you to take photos of their house, nonetheless put your address out there, their address rather, that's a big step in the right direction of showing to someone else, like, hey, this person really trusted me, I did a good job. They were happy with us, because if that wasn't the case, they wouldn't be allowing you to do that.
Yeah. What about the event overall? Did you get what you wanted to get out of this event, or are you still looking and hoping to get something else out of it, other than the tour at the end of the day?
I got a lot out of the event. The event was very informative. Certainteed does a great job of providing tools for the contractor so we can develop our business. It doesn't feel like the relationship is we just buy products from you. We actually get the support from Certainteed, and that's very valuable today.
Awesome.
Very happy.
Well, guys, thanks again for taking the time. Best of luck in 2025.
Thank you.
And look forward to following your success, all right?
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks. What did you think, Chris, about the energy in the room and what Steve was able to provide to the audience today?
So I think Steve is a great public speaker. I've been to a lot of things like this, and Steve definitely could captivate an audience. You could tell that he's got a lot of teaching experience, the way that he's able to keep everybody engaged and focused and always on to the next thing. He didn't sit on the same topics for too long, so he kept you very what's next the entire time. And I mean, his product speaks for itself, so it was really easy to stay involved.
Speaking of the product, what did you feel like would benefit your business the most? Because really, Project Mapit, I mean, from beginning to end, it fills a gap in somebody's business. What stuck out to you the most?
Keeping everything in one place. Having the reference map. You click there, it has the photos of the job. It has exactly what the product line of the job was, what that customer thought of the job with their review, what town it's in, how close it is in proximity to where you're currently doing an estimate. It just keeps everything completely organized, so that way you're not like, oh, I think I have a photo of this job, or this guy wrote a good review. You always have it right in front of you, all in one place, and it makes things a lot easier.
And it's a really good proof of concept when you have those photos and stuff right then and there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For a customer to be able to see what a product would look like on another house in the same neighborhood, that's probably the same style, same builder from back in the day, that they can actually see what their home's going to look like.
And have what they said about the job, right? The reviews right there as well.
Yeah, the start to finish, who they worked with, who they talked to initially, how the installation process went. It's a grand slam.
And now you're now recently an owner. So you had your uncle started your company, your father partnered in, and now you're partnered in, and your uncle's on the tail end of his career here.
Yeah.
For you as
Don't let him see this video.
For you as a new owner, we're coming for you, Unc. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for building the foundation that gave the road here. For you at these events, with your mind, your fresh look in the industry, what are you hoping to gain from coming to an event like this?
Ultimately, just the things that we just dropped the ball on all these years, being old school, reviews they didn't exist at one point. So a lot of the reputation, it's just all word of mouth, getting our leads and stuff like that, or at least it was for so long. And seeing the technology that's come out and just how you can maximize every single lead and ultimately gain more leads through maximizing those leads, and just ultimately scaling the business a lot quicker than you were able to do, quite frankly, 20 years ago.
Well, Chris, I'm excited to see what you're going to do in 2025 and beyond with Nichols Contracting, and congratulations on your success so far.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're here at the Certainteed lunch break. I got Pat. Pat works at Project Mapit. Pat, how long you been at Project Mapping?
So I've been working with Project Mapping for about a year now, and it's been a great time working with underneath of Steve and working
Oh,
with.
come on, tell me the good stuff, will you? What is it? It can't all be good.
I mean, there's a lot of work to it, but it's always worth the work. I feel like it's been a great learning experience for me, and learning that a lot of different tasks and different skills that are definitely good to have.
What attracted you to actually, make a life choice and to change your career from what you were doing to Project Map It? What attracted you to them?
Yeah, so it's actually a funny story. Steve used to coach me in lacrosse when I was back when I was really young, and I was coaching with the team, and I just wasn't really happy with my last job. And Steve offered me this, and I just kind of learned and fell in love with it. I really like the interactions. I like to be able to travel a lot, and it feels like when you work really hard in this position, you get to you receive what you deserve. So it's really nice.
That's awesome. In your time here, you've been here a year. You've grown a lot in the role, increased responsibility. I talked to Steve, and he just sings the world about you, man. He really thinks you're a hard worker, dedicated, and just really somebody that he wants at his company. Can you talk a little bit about what your product at Project Map It has done to your clients, and maybe share some feedback that maybe reinforces why you stay at Project Map It?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things with Project Map It is the return on investment. When you use Project Map It in the proper way and you involve it into your sales process, you will see there's a dramatic difference in your guys' sales process. You're gonna see that you're gonna be increasing your rate of success or your win rate. So it's always good to see. And then also, it's a very simple product and it works out really well.
Yeah, and you're making it easier and easier for contractors to actually do it by taking the heavy lift off their hands and doing it, basically for them, which is wild. Mm-hmm. What are you excited about most in 2025 for Project Map It?
I think one of the biggest things I'm excited for is probably our integration with ABC. I think that'll be a great time. And I guess actually my top one would probably be my first time presenting at a SRS conference.
Let's go.
I know, so I'm really excited for it and I feel like I'm gonna kill it. Steve's been training me up. Perla's been training me up as well, so I'm happy to be out there and be able to present.
Yeah, I know Steve's confident in you. I'm excited. Hopefully I can catch that. Thanks for taking the time, Pat.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, I got Keith here. Keith is, what's the name of your company, Keith? I'm sorry, brother.
Overmeyer Roofing.
All right, how long you guys been in business?
Going on 20 years here in September.
20 years, but you only started using Project Map It, about a year ago?
Yeah, last year, yeah.
So what was it that, from all your experience and everything that you've been through in this industry, what did you see in Project Map It that made you sign up for a demo when you first saw it, or made you sign on? What was the attractive part where you like, oh my gosh, this can move the needle?
So everybody knows, or a lot of people know, Google Maps, right? So that's pretty obvious. You can write something in that you want to find and, get different options and, places or things where places are. But with Project Map It, it seemed like it was pretty sick because, we know we do a lot of work in Stroudsburg, East Stroudsburg, the Poconos, but how much of that in specific areas do we do? I can't really pinpoint that, but with being able to have some place that we can just drop all our projects as well as reviews and photos too, which are huge. I thought that was really awesome. So we can build that recognition in certain neighborhoods or areas, or if somebody's just going through the list of roofers that they might be interested in working with and they see a map of the homes that we have done in their area, just to build that trust even more than we build not using Project Map It. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool part of it, just to be able to build trust through that platform. And then also once they see everything else that we can offer them, aside from just building the roof, then we might be able to help them over the competitors.
Yeah, it's cool because you're able to lower the customer's guard because they've seen that, hey, you actually do work, right? True. In the area. You're not just some guy that's coming around that's going to say what they want to hear, right? There's a big kind of stigma around the contractor, right? People are nervous, apprehensive maybe. So, what advice would you have for a homeowner that's looking to choose a contractor?
So there's a lot, right? But I think if somebody's willing to put themselves out there on social media too, and job site videos, projects, just being current versus long lag times in between posts, I think that's huge. At least the company is active. I mean, Google's great too because it's candid feedback, like good or bad, which is also huge for both sides. But referrals are huge too. But then the best platform for referral is also Project Map It too, because like in a way you have the referrals like on the screen of who you worked for successfully. You're not just saying, yeah, we've done hundreds of homes in your area without being like having proof to that. So yeah,
A homeowner would rather see one job done in their area and have total proof of it with what that customer had to say, where maybe they know them. Maybe they can text that person right in the middle of your meeting. You know what I mean? So it's a nice, comforting thing. What has coming to these shows at Certainteed and different shows maybe that you've been to, how has that transformed your business? Why do you come to these shows?
Yeah, so I think the thing with, especially what Certainteed does for us, or at least for everyone that's here, if someone's willing to invest their time into you or me, and even if you've heard it before, like a lot of these breakouts I've been to, but I still go because you might take one thing, two things away from your time invested here today, but that could essentially save you time or help propel your business or just your personal growth too, and like compress that time down. So like, I mean, there's so many hundreds of good people here to meet today, and like, the opportunity might just be from meeting someone, grabbing a water out of the bucket over there versus like going to some breakout. But either way, like if the companies are willing to invest in us, utilize that, leverage that time, make the connections. And like a good friend said, years ago that I heard and sticks with me, like your network is your net worth. So, you get yourself around good high level people and like, you're just going to raise, to that level too.
Well, I love everything you're saying, everything you're doing. Your company is great as well, and Steve speaks very highly of you.
Thank you.
Just as much as you speak highly of them. So it's really cool to see that synergy. Want to just say thanks again for taking the time.
Right on, brother.
And we'll see you next time, right, man?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And
Oh,
the
what
short
is this?
guy here next to these ginormous gentlemen, you get style 1, style 2,
Come on now.
and all blacked out style 3, baby.
Steve.
Dude, you deserve it, brother. You deserve it.
Thanks, dude.
I love you.
Yeah, you're the best.
Merch by Project Map It.
Yeah, right.
Get it while it's here. All right, we're delirious here. It's been a long, fun day at MetLife Stadium. What do you think, brother? How'd it go?
I'm tired, man. I put my passion into the presentations, as you saw, but it went great as always. I mean, I think this is now going on my 13th, 14th event with Certainteed at an NFL stadium.
13 or 14 NFL stadiums across.
There was one that was not an NFL stadium. It was a baseball stadium. But I mean, from a sports nut, I can only imagine Certainteed, they're smart, right? Like let's rent out really cool NFL stadiums throughout the U.S. and get contractors to come. We get to do a tour, which is always fun. I got to see a lot of our I got to see a lot of our current clients, which is awesome to always reconnect with those guys and ladies. Heard some really good success stories about our current clients using it in the sales process, which is awesome. We've already landed a couple new clients, which is always fun, being able to bring on new people to the Project Map It family. So all in all, great day. I'm exhausted, but great day.
What's next for you? What does Project Map It have in store for 2025?
We have some really good integrations coming along. Our goal, right, Greg, is to streamline the process so the contractor doesn't have to do that much. We have 3 things, right? Pins on a map, photos, and reviews. Pins on a map is always out of the 3, that's the hardest thing. We are doing some really cool integrations right now with ABC Supply and SRS Distribution. That's going to help bring in and just manage the maps for the customers. So when they order the material, it automatically is going to update that map. So we're just trying to make it easier for our contractors. So 2025 is going to be coming along pretty strong for us. We're doing some recoding and some UI, UX new features. The map, probably by the second quarter, should have a different look, a little cleaner, modern look, probably even easier to navigate. So we're really excited about that. We already have the designs made. So a lot of good things coming in 2025.
I'm telling you, from the time that we first started talking a couple years ago, I was brutally honest with you. I had no idea what you did, and I didn't think it was that big a deal. You started climbing. We review over 2,200 strategic partners every year. And as we saw you climbing the charts, I'm like, what is Project Map It like? And I have been so impressed every single, what seems like every quarter, every month, you have this innovative DNA where you are just evolving, and I can't wait, and I know your clients can't wait, future clients can't wait to really see how far you guys are going to take this, and we're excited to be a part of the journey.
We have some cool things, man. I mean, there's some things on our calendar that I'm not going to discuss because I don't want to put it out there and not actually deliver. I can deliver on the fact that we're going to update the UI UX and some of these cool strategic integration partnerships that we have.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having us out.
Coming, man.
We appreciate the invite here to MetLife, and we'll see you next time, brother.
Oh, man. Thank you.
Awesome.